Quest 2 audio solutions. If you've been with me for a while here on the channel, you know that I do not like the stock speakers, and I have tried other option after other option after other option. Haven't found something I absolutely love. Rebuff Reality's VR ears are finally available on Amazon, and instead of their usual 130 to 160, they were 110 on Amazon. Let's find out if they're worth that. Now these have been on the market for a little while now. People have asked about them several times before for me to review, but at $130 or $160 and no return options, I was pretty nervous to spend that much money, as I'm sure a lot of you are. That being said, I bought these. I've contacted Rebuff before, but I'm guessing between a couple of our reviews of some other things on their website, they don't want to send us anything. The way these work, they have their own inline amp, which means they have to be powered. So this is one more thing you have to charge. They are meant to be off-ear speakers to add that extra immersion. The unboxing experience is pretty nice. Hear off-world, listen off-ear. Advertises 60 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Got a whole instruction manual we're probably gonna need, because I did watch a setup video on this once. These are not just take them out of the box, snap them on and play. There is some work to be done to install these. It tells you that the battery time is gonna last 6 hours of gaming. It is 2 hours to charge. Here they are. Oh, before removing the sticker, watch the tutorial video. You look at them, I mean, these feel well-built and premium. There's no adjustability from this end, surprisingly. So you can't like turn these or aim them. So you're gonna have to get them adjusted just right. And they only come in black, which is not amazing for Quest 2 owners, but what can you do? Important, they really say, watch the tutorial video. Do not do anything until you watch that. This even says, watch the tutorial video. And here's all your accessories. Oh boy. So in the accessories box, you've got a set for PSVR, Oculus Rift S, Valve Index, which I understand maybe. I don't understand that, actually, no. I understand needing good audio. The Valve Index has good audio off-ear speakers built on. I don't know why anyone would get these for the Valve Index unless they are like life-changing audio. Vive Pro or Deluxe Audio Strap for you FrankenQuest fans. Again, though, Deluxe Audio Strap has its own headphones on there, but they aren't amplified. And then Oculus Quest. So that's the set we're gonna need right there, along with our wiring kit. Seems like another set of clips to get these things just right. And I guess I'm gonna go watch the tutorial video. So we watched the video, and it's not the greatest instructional video. Some of it comes a little out of order.
You read while I work.
Okie dokie. First, remove outer housing plate screws, but not before turning the upper retention bolt 1/2 turn clockwise. This could be a very costly mistake.
They might want to reconsider having the video remade. The guy could do really well who made the video. He just, now that he's done it several times, could probably give you a little better.
You will want to put the clip about this position.
Right now, this thing is in a locked position, and so they say you need to loosen this about 1 turn, but not further. You don't want to disassemble the whole thing. You're just trying to loosen this enough to where this thing will turn and adjust. The attachment clips here, the part that I showed you that had the Quest 2 silicone inserts already installed, can disassemble by turning this screw fully out, and then it comes apart. This is basically the piece that is going to hold onto your Quest. And the tricky thing here, the video only shows a Quest 2 with the stock strap. There isn't one for the PSVR, the Valve Index, maybe somewhere else on the website, but by following the QR code, you're not gonna find that. I'm gonna have to try and figure out, I wanna put this on a BoboVR, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to get this on here. I'm gonna try and see if maybe I go right here, if maybe this will work. I may not be able to get this to fit the Bobo, actually. Oh no. Okay, well, I know that there's more than one spot to put these on, so I could try to attach these somewhere back here. Maybe I should just put them over the hinge, and then the hinge will never move again on me. Okay, it looks like it just barely locks in place over the hinge. My hinge won't be able to turn, but I kind of have wondered for a while what it would be like if the hinge didn't turn, so we'll try it for now. We'll adjust as needed. So I'm just gonna show you how to install one of these, and you can pretty much figure it out from there. They do say left and right on everything. He's saying, obviously, if you were to wear the headset, you think of which side's the left, so that's the relation. So don't look at the headset and think that's left. It's as if you were wearing it, and then this is just gonna drop into here. Okay, so now with them on but not in position, I am supposed to put this on. Wow, this is becoming quite the thing here. I'm supposed to find where they'll basically aim straight into my ears. There is a couple ways to adjust them. The one adjustment, which we already locked in this piece with this little screw, I could essentially move that anywhere I want to. So now I want to make sure that these are aiming as close to as possible to my ears, so I can move this part up and down. One problem that I'm finding, so these lock into position here. There's probably about 12 positions they can lock to, so there's quite a bit. If I wanted them right there, which seems like it'd be right, it's gonna move forward a little and snap into a different spot. Like it feels like right there would be perfect. I'll go a little bit more forward in the hopes that that's gonna be fine. Okay, so I think that's right. So at that point, you have to take your headset back off. Try not to screw up your adjustments you've done. Slide this puppy back out. So we're gonna retighten that hex key, the full turn till it stops. And yeah, that's gonna always be adjustable. So the only thing you're looking for is this position. So that's at least not as bad as it seemed from the instructional video. So I liked it there, so I'm just gonna eyeball this one. They give you a couple different cables here. I think this short one is meant to be if you had hooked it, if I was able to hook it in the spot they wanted me to, it wouldn't be too short of a cable, but now it's too short of a cable for here, but at least they give you this little stretchy cable. They also warn you that those hexes can get loose over time, so you may end up having to retighten them down. Okay. Look at that monstrosity. So right now I am using the new M2 Plus, but I have not gotten my M2 Plus with battery yet. So I do have just a regular battery pack stuck on here. So that's one extra monstrosity to the whole thing. Also in regards to their installation video, way after the install process is over, they tell you, and this works on all these other headsets. And they show you just them installed. They don't show you how to install them on the other headsets. So if you're someone who has a Rift S and you're trying to install these, you can follow kind of the same principles and probably figure it out yourself, but you're not gonna see where they say to put it until you've watched the entire video and then into the afterthoughts. This video could use some restructuring and reordering to make it a little simpler for people. We're gonna check out some audio tests on this, but before that, I do want to mention a couple things. They want you to rock your headset at full volume and then only adjust your volume from the actual on ears switch, whatever. That was not very eloquent. They do want you to rock your volume full up here and then adjust it only on here. Keep in mind, as someone who's used off-ear speakers and headphones for a long time, every once in a while, when you rock this thing on full volume, the Quest 2 goes, hey, you're damaging your hearing by having the volume too loud, and cuts it down to like 10 instead of the 15 max setting. So you are probably gonna be running into that problem once in a while on a Quest 2 while using this. It adds a significant amount of weight. But luckily, because of where I positioned these, they're way back here, the weight is not on the front. So it's not necessarily bad weight, it's just more weight. That's over 10 ounces you're adding to the headset. So you're taking it from, what did we see? 2 pounds and 11 ounces, 2 pounds, 1 ounce. So that's like a 30% increase in weight to have these on there. Something that I didn't think about that I feel like I need to mention here already, you can't see your volume visually anymore. I can crank it all the way to max and I hear a beep telling me, hey, you're at max volume. You're gonna miss the fact that you can always see the volume when you click it here if you only use the controls here like they said. Dang it, I'm kind of wishing I had adjusted the headset back one notch. Something they point out late in the video that is kind of a cool detail. You can plug in the USB-C to a battery pack you have and have this stay charged while you're using it, so battery power won't be something you have to worry about. One unexpected issue I noticed the first moment I put it on, keep in mind this is because I'm using a BoboVR strap and not the stock strap and the way they suggested to do it, but I have created pressure points right here and right here that are pushing into the side of my head, and it feels awful. If I grab these and physically move them a little bit like that, then at least it's even on my head, but because of the weight of the headphones and the way they're pushing in, this edge right here and this edge right here are both pushing into my head. I may be able to troubleshoot and find a different position to hook these on. Keep in mind, if you have a different strap than the stock one, or probably, it looks like they're made to also fit on maybe the Elite, you're gonna have to be prepared to plan and move things. And that's where, again, it's probably best to buy this on Amazon, just in case. So far, if you went from the stock audio to this, you would probably be feeling pretty good about your decision right now to spend this money, because the audio difference from there to this is exceptional because it actually has an amp. It can actually get loud enough. The bullets, me firing the gun, it hurts a little bit. And the directional audio is good enough. I don't know if you could tell there. I had my eyes closed and was just listening for where the gunshots were coming from and then dodging them based on what I was hearing from audio. First impressions, just based off audio, it is very clear. It is pretty good. One of the main complaints of the Quest 2 stock audio, besides my complaints about it being crap and it being misdirected, it's not near your ears, is that it's too quiet, especially if you get an app like Supernatural that is kind of quiet already. So we're gonna do some audio testing here of sheer volume of these versus the stock audio. We're using a sound app on the phone. This is not the most reliable way in the world you could do this. If you had really good equipment, you could test it differently. We're gonna be looking for what the difference is between the stock audio and these. it looked like we did see a few decibels higher of volume, but it wasn't as much as I would have expected having listened to these versus these speakers. If you look at the graph, it does look like we're getting a more consistent, constant higher decibel, and the other one's peaking and bouncing a lot more. But one of the big differences you're gonna notice between these or any headphones, any speakers that you use, you see right now the position of this speaker, I have this aimed directly at my ear. Quest 1 is not only really small speaker, but it's way up in front of your ear. It's not directed towards your ear. So even though it wasn't a huge decibel difference, it is a noticeable difference in volume. And I will say, a few decibels doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, the difference between 75 and 80 is like hearing damage difference. So keep that in mind as far as how that part works. I've played this with a whole bunch of games, spent a good amount of time testing different ones, music ones, shooting ones, trying to really pick up the difference between everything. Remember, audio is subjective. That's why even some of the biggest audiophiles in the world can't agree on what the best set of headphones in the world is. That being said, these have good sound. It's very clear, kind of loud. It at least seems a lot louder than the stock one, but I'm still rocking it on max volume in most of these games, and it's not hurting my ears by any means. The directional audio is fine. It's just as good as like these ones. I can tell where stuff's coming from, even better than like the Bionic Mantis. And you can tell when you work with these, they're built well. You can tell they've been engineered really carefully to fit and to be able to be aimed, but they also cost a small fortune. Although they are currently $110 on Amazon, that could change because we've seen them from $130 to $160. And if these things are at their full price of $160, I wouldn't buy them. I hate to say it. Even right now at $110 on Amazon, I am seriously considering returning these because that's a lot of money. The only reason that I'm thinking about keeping them is because next month there's a company, we interviewed the CEO on the podcast. They're making a set of headphones. They are promising to potentially be some of the best headphones. They're somewhere in that same price range. So I want these side by side to compare them. But that's the only reason I'm considering keeping these right now. These, and unfortunately, you can't get these right now. They stopped making them. But these are close enough in audio quality and close enough in volume, and they don't have the extra weight that this adds. They don't have the extra cables all over the place. They stay off my ears just as well as these. The whole thing feels better on my head. It doesn't create new pressure points like this one was doing on this strap. And for like 40 or 50 bucks, I could get 3 sets of these instead of getting these. I really wanted these to be like the best thing ever. And honestly, if you were to ask me right now, what are the best off-ear speakers I can get for my Quest 2? It is these, but not without a ton of compromise. So there's that. I don't really want them, but I know that someone out there who is like an audiophile, who wants the clearest audio, wants that extra volume, is not afraid to throw that extra money out there. I guess I should leave a link for you because you might be that person who wants to buy them, but I will put all of these disclaimers in the description as well with it. Sure, if you want the clearest audio, a great experience, if you're only playing Supernatural, that might actually make this a little more worthwhile because being able to have it off your ears instead of some sort of headphones that make you more sweaty, but to get that good, louder audio you want when you're really trying to rock out and exercise, maybe it makes it worth it for that crowd. But me personally, in my opinion, I wouldn't keep these if I didn't need them to compare to other headphones. I would be returning these tomorrow. Let me know what you think out there. I know not a lot of people have tried these because they are prohibitively expensive. They're clunky and huge, and they add just a ton to your headset that was already had a lot going on. Now it's got all this going on too. There is a lot of compromise. No! And now you got one more thing you got to keep charged unless you run that cable to your battery pack, but then you're draining your battery pack like fast. Even in testing, I killed the battery and had to swap another one for less than an hour. You'd be going through batteries fast. I'd love to hear your thoughts out there. It's so much money. But I want to say thank you to all of you out there for coming out. I know this was a big one a lot of you were waiting for, and sadly we didn't find the perfect result, but I do know next month some more audio options are coming. I'm really hoping one of them is just perfect. And for now, the fact that the ones I like are off the market really sucks because it's like, where do I send you now? I would say stick with maybe those Logitech earbuds, or if you're okay with the stock audio for now, stick with that and hold out another month with me. Let's see if we can find you something better. Thank you for being here, coming out today, and I will see you in another reality.